Today I'm presenting a viewer request by more than one viewer and more than numerous times. This is a comparison of a Kawai upright piano, the ST-1, with the Kawai Concert Artist Series 901 digital piano. Stick around for these acoustic versus digital comparison. Hi, this is Ted Barslew with Alamo Piano Galleries. You can find us online at alamopianogalleries.com. Find a store that's closest to you. We have 2 stores in Michigan, a couple of stores in Texas, a couple of stores in Ohio, one in St. Louis and Kansas City as well. And as promised, today we're actually comparing an ST-1, which is the standard workhorse type choir room, chorus hall, auditorium, band room, stage band, rehearsal room, dance studio. It's just a regular upright piano that most professionals are used to playing at some point. A lot of times you see these for auditions. When they're auditioning singers and dancers for Broadway shows, there's always a piano. If it's not this model, it'll be one very similar to it. And the reason why we've chosen the Concert Artist Series 901 to compare it to is because it's the top of the line digital piano that Kawai has out that is not in a different type of series. This is their top of the line digital piano. The Concert Artist Series 901 has certain features that make it comparable to an acoustic piano. It has a soundboard in it. And as advertised, the Concert Artist 901 says that it is a grand piano experience on a digital instrument. And that it certainly is. Before we shot this video, I went and played on these 2 pianos, one after another, back and forth to see why is it that one of them does feel like an upright and the other one actually feels like you're playing a grand. And there's no way around that. And if you have an opportunity to play an ST-1 and to play a CA901 and compare them in the same time, in the same room, I hope for your sake that both of them are polished ebony because you're going to feel really special doing it. Not that I have anything against any other finish, that polished ebony is just my favorite because, well, as professional pianists, you play a lot on polished ebony pianos and it always makes you feel like it's a pro-level instrument. And it's worth the extra money to get it as a finish because when you go to resell it or to trade it in or to take it out on a gig, you look that much better and so will the price and so will you. And I really, truly believe those instruments sound better. Okay, so a couple of points I want to differentiate here, and I guess the first and foremost, we have to keep this in mind. There is about a $1,600 price difference, where the ST-1 is somewhere around $8,000, and the CA901 is going to be somewhere around $6,400, and that may depend on the finish. I don't always take into consideration pricing finishes, even though I say you're better off playing a polished ebony. That's just a matter of preference. And I think not only do the instruments look their absolute best in polished ebony, but I think that most players feel absolute best playing on it. That's just me. And when you go to trade it in or resell it, you're always going to get a little bit more on the polished ebony finish. Besides the fact, that's just personal preference. You take that for what it's worth. The ST-1 has in it one of the most desirable piano actions. It has the Millennium 3 upright action, and it is a joy to play. As opposed to the Concert Artist 901, the CA901 has the Grand Feel 3 action. It also has the ebony and ivory key textures on it, which are like grand piano experience on a digital piano. And I can say that I really enjoy playing the CA901 a little bit more than I do the ST-1. And that's probably because I think that the CA901 offers more to a piano student than an ST-1 would, unless they just want a piano to practice on. But the CA901 gives you a lot of practicing tools. It has a metronome, it's got a built-in drum machine, it's got the ability to record yourself and hear it play back. And there's a lot of different features. You can actually record a harpsichord piece on a harpsichord. You can change different sounds. It doesn't mean that I prefer a digital piano over an acoustic piano. They're different instruments, but both of these are supposed to be the standard use upright piano in a choir room, a stage room, or an auditorium for an audition, and both of them serve their function. I will say that The CA901 is exactly what Kawai says. It's a grand piano experience on a digital piano. When you play the ST-1, it's a great sounding playing piano, but it's not a grand piano experience. It's an upright piano with, about 48-inch upright piano. That sounds like every other 48 upright inch piano. The CA901 is just, to me, in this day and age, a more applicable and a more usable and probably desirable instrument to play on. And besides, you can always turn off the speakers and put on headphones and not bother anyone else in the room or the house or so on. And with that, we're going to go, and I'm going to let you have a listen, and I'll come back and talk a little bit more about the details and how these pianos, how they're made and manufactured and all that. I don't know if that's really important. What's really important is, how does it play? How does it sound? Is it inspiring? And what's the price differential? And which one would you rather have? What's important here is that the CA901 is one of the very, very few first and rare digital pianos that use a 360 sound spread on their speakers on the top end and also the soundboard like a natural piano. Why don't you have a listen and decide for yourself? We'll be back. Right as we come back from the playing demonstrations is where I'm going to ask you to make your comments about the sound, because you just got done listening to it. If you get a chance, let me know what your thoughts are comparing the sound of these two instruments together. The one thing I can say is that the CA901, I'm partial to the digital piano in this presentation, even though the acoustic piano costs more money. I'm partial to the CA901 because of the SKEX rendering of the 9-foot concert grand piano that Kawai put into the CA901, but also this sample has the competition grand, which is one of the most invigorating, lively, best concert grand samples I've ever played or had access to through a piano. It's not just a great sound, it's one that actually works for you when you're sitting at the instrument. Compared to an ST-1, which is still a great workhorse upright piano, I'm not saying it's not as inspiring or as invigorating, but there's a lot of fun to have with this technology, and in the projection of the digital piano using a soundboard, I think that is going to be a major wave of the future. And I also think that we may be looking at a lot more pianos that are going to start getting built this way with an active soundboard that is actually used to transmit the digital sound. On a grand piano, it would be really interesting because I don't know that you necessarily have to keep the same grand piano shape. So you could really design different kind of grand pianos with soundboards in it that are oddly shaped just to see how they sound. That's a little bit of a weird thought to leave you with. Look for us at alamomusic.com. Subscribe to this channel, let me know your thoughts, and if you have any comments or questions about the products we present here, not just in this video, but in other videos, and I do encourage you to look for the store closest to you and go in and try to play these two things back to back. We have stores in Michigan, in Ohio, in Texas, and in St. Louis and Kansas City. And find us again at alamopianogalleries.com. And we'll look for you next time. Thank you so much.